ass, why you being so mean? I'm finna get mad and tweet CZ. Yeah, I invest in Hex, me and my wife like sex, but I don't like your sex cause you take my keys. Binance, why you being so mean? I'm finna get mad and tweet CZ. Yeah, I invest in Hex, me and my wife like sex, but I don't like your sex cause you take my keys. Make it make sense, your head's so dense. I'm waiting on the Pulsechain and Pulse X. Make it make sense, your head's so dense. I'm waiting on the Pulsechain and Pulse X. Mornings with hash browns. I never call myself a king, only the people did. My wife told me I'm the product of the supreme being, a product of my environment, deeper than Leviathan. Everything we see, you know, belongs to tetragrammaton, belongs to tetragrammaton, belongs to tetragrammaton. I might be righteous, but I shake hands with the savages. Old school, like Tommy guns, horse and carriages. You like Bitcoin? Better save yourself the embarrassment. I'm in the hood with the chopped cheese sandwiches. You a hood foreskin with the dickhead narratives. Bitcoin's been bleeding. Where's your maxi pad bandages? I know, you really can't handle this. The truth hurts. What's going on, everybody? It's your host, the Crypto Wonder, from the Crypto Wonder podcast for now, right? Check this out, man. Hope you're doing well. One day closer to the next all-time high for Hex, one day closer to Pulsechain and Pulse X launch. You can't expect to experience 10,000x gains without maximum pain. And boy, this is, let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, this is maximum pain. This is sort of like, this is a cycle that's bringing out the pain. That's just, you have to endure it. You have to endure it. You have to. If you want to experience those multiple gains, you got to go through the pain. It depends on how you look at things. The bear market, it's difficult. It sucks. But if you see the bear market from a different perspective and view it as a chance to buy what you like at an extreme discount, an extended fire sale, then you take advantage. If that's what you want to do, it's on you. Don't blame me for any financial advice because I don't give any. But it's maximum pain in other areas too. Not just price activity and action and all that, but it's just the social shift, the shifting of consciousness that happens within these crypto communities. It's just like, yo. And I have to even speak about it like crypto communities because it seems like Hex is just divided and fragmented right now in sub-communities. People are not seeing eye to eye. People are not. Some people are weary. They've been waiting too long for Pulsechain, Pulse X. They've just straight up left the community, or at least they would say it. Probably behind the scenes, they still, are waiting, because that's all everybody can do is wait, especially sacrifices. All you can do is wait. So some people left. Some people decided to, basically change their strategy altogether, get into other coins, and have gotten not so favorable feedback by the diehard believers of Hex and things like that. You could be a diehard believer in Hex, but you also got to be willing and receptive to Pulsechain and Pulse X. That's why I don't 100% believe in just,
one-way types of thinking. You know, even when the founder of Hex was a Bitcoin maxi, he had to turn a leaf once he realized Ethereum provided more opportunities. So there's your example right there. Like, if he could update his worldview, don't judge others for updating theirs, except when they, the ones that update their worldview and decide to, I'm saying the ones, meaning people who are in Hex, decide to get into other projects and bring those projects back to Hexicans, like projects, scams, like these casino crapshoot games. No, I'm not saying literally, but it's like, it feels like you're gambling when you take your attention away from what works and go throw something at a wall, trying to make sure that it sticks, and then try to convince people in the community to do what you're doing. It's not a win for everybody. It's like a lose-lose. Yeah, you might have a little micro opportunity to, you know, do a little 2, 3x, 4x, maybe even 10x. Yeah, but you got to keep your eye on the prize too, and understand that that 10x, that whatever you put in there, when Pulsechain does come out, when that blockchain does come out, whatever you rocking with right now won't hold a candle next to what Pulsechain is about to do the next couple of years after its launch, you know. PulseX as well. But during this period of maximum pain, people are so... Listen, I noticed a few things when I started paying attention, like, closely to the community, to this community. I noticed a few things, and certain things I keep to myself because I understand how certain things work. And I would just watch, though. I would allow my intuition to be my guide, in addition with whatever types of information I was gathering as far as research and studying Hex and understanding how certain things move, and watching what Richard says, or listening and watching, you know, learning. Sometimes you have to, like, basically block out everything and just deal with the data, deal with the information. Because when we sort of like lend our trust into people, it doesn't always fare well for us. And of course, this is a age-old truth that, you know, holds weight when you're dealing with money, period. And especially in crypto, the fastest, you know, asset appreciating class. You don't think people are going to show you who they are when money's involved? Oh, they are. They are. And I've been watching, as I'm making content too, I've been watching for the past year and a half. Beginning maybe like late January, early February of last year, 2021, till now, watching how people in the community who, you know, act with one another. And sometimes, a lot of times, I would see things and I would just question it. I'd keep it to myself. And then sometime later it would unfold like, wow, this is why such and such happened. Or this is why, you know, I just had a weird, funny feeling about what people would say and what they would do based on what they present as far as their behavior and information, things they do on social media, and claim to be members of the community who have everyone's best interests, right? And then something will happen to show you otherwise, and then you're like, what is this for, man? You know, forget about all that. Let me just focus on the data. Let me just focus on the math. I'm not even a TA person, but I look at charts too, right? I look at the information. I appreciate that because that's void of human emotion. The math doesn't care about feelings. I've said this before too. Like, we're the ones that mess things up. The code doesn't. It does what it's gonna do, void of whatever we feel, think, observe, know, don't know, ignorant of, whatever. It's gonna operate the way it's designed, developed to operate. And that's what gives me solace, to be honest with you. That's what, when we talk about trustless yield, when we talking about permissionless, censorship resistant, immutable code, all these things, it's basically because it's absent of some type of human control, some type of human middle person who's really dialing or pulling the strings. It's absent of that. And that's why I can lend my trust into the math, if it works. Because when you sort of like put that aside and become human, which is not a fault, not become human, but allow your human sensibilities to present itself to others, and you want to take that risk and say, because we're not perfect, we want to, confide or maybe even trust or believe in what people are doing and who they are, because they're showing, decent character, gentle character, things of that nature, respect, blah, blah, blah. And then when they show you otherwise and you get disappointed, well, then that's when you start kicking yourself in the behind. And you're like, why did I believe what this person was telling me? Why did I have faith in what so-and-so was saying? What am I talking about? Why am I bringing all this up? Well, I'm talking about, for example, like in between, up to date right now, it seems like the whole Pulsechain, as we knew it, event is having issues right now. And I guess the organizer of Pulsechain, the conference for Pulsechain, posted something about needing to have $350,000 in order to, I guess, I don't know, need more, to need that much to fulfill the event or fulfill the obligation. I don't know. This is what is being said, on social media regarding, and then, it's not a good look all around. It's not a good look. And, you have other community members that have also set up other engagements and functions apart from Pulsechain that are still going to, they have events planned for the time period in Vegas. And that's cool. But, if it weren't for Pulsechain, those events wouldn't have been planned. First of all, I've always questioned in general, like, how are you having an event and the Pulsechain didn't even launch yet? Sometimes I guess people miscalculate, because probably, like, who didn't think? I don't even think Richard thought it would take this long to launch. Maybe he did, but probably they thought, maybe, from the time the sacrifice period took place, July 2021, folks are like, oh yeah, let's just plan, September 2022, Pulsechain. And, wishful thinking, probably thought the mainnet would have been launched by now. But it's not. But they had to keep the stuff going, right? I guess too much money. I don't know. Too much money was, too much planning took place for them to not, continue. But now it's at a halt. And it's annoying. The reason why I'm talking about it's annoying because a person like me, right, all I do is, as far as with the community, is, create content and stuff. I was really like contemplating going to Vegas, man. I really was contemplating going to Vegas. Even though I was asking myself, I'm not trying to go to a Pulsechain for no buffet of promise coin projects. I'm not going there for that. I was really trying to create something special and do something like for myself and my family, like to really treat them and just go. And being around the whole community and events taking place would have just been a bonus. You know, you want to talk about killing two birds with more than one, killing many birds with one stone. Hey, but then I see this, and then I'm like, here we go with the foolishness. And this is a certain reason why I didn't push the button and do certain things to ensure that, okay, yeah, I'm gonna go. Nah, I'm good. I hope all the other organized events that are taking place are successful, but I'm gonna sit this one out. You know, I'm gonna sit this one out. This was something I was gonna do on my own. Like I wasn't gonna talk about it on social media. You know, if anything, I would talk about it after the fact. I have my own reasons why I wasn't gonna talk about it, because it was like I wasn't even sure and definite about it. But now I see why I wasn't sure and definite. I wasn't, necessarily going. I was going, just hey, have an outing, whatever, family. Let's go do this, man. Live life, enjoy life. And again, like, who wouldn't want to be around a community of like-minded people looking forward to something great that's life-changing, to be a part of something that's life-changing. And then I hear, like this crazy news. It just shows you how things can be, man. Like, it shows you. That's why I really don't trust people. You know what I mean? I don't. That's why it go back to the math, go back to the information, go back to the data, go back to the code, go back to the smart contract. That's, again, censorship resistant, immutable, all these things. It takes me right back to this stuff right here. That to keep it real with you, when I was a non-believer in Hex, it wasn't because of, Hex itself. It was because of what Richard was doing that I couldn't jive with. I thought he was trolling the crypto community. And now I understand that he created something genius to help individuals who are in Hex mint their own inflation without any third-party interference whatsoever. It's you and the contract. You minting your own inflation. That is genius. In a time and day where you have people who are trying to censor these smart contracts and addresses. Look what took place with Tornado Cash. Privacy is being challenged to a very high degree. So there's a lot of things that need to be solved. There's a lot of things that's taking place right now that needs to be solved. And I know that right now we're ahead of the game by leagues ahead of the game of so many people. But this is going back to the code. I respect Richard now, but even if I didn't respect Richard, I appreciate his brilliant mind and what he did by inventing this thing and putting it out in the world. Nobody really has to like it, but you got to respect what he did. You got to respect it. Have to. But again, I respect him. I'm just saying the code speaks for itself. He could go do the most outrageous marketing he wants for the rest of his life. That's apart from what Hex has done and what it's bringing to the people and what it's bringing to the world. And that's what's going to happen with Pulsechain and Pulse X as well once those two things launch. Irrespective of what what we do, those things are going to do what it's going to do. Because when the free market attaches itself to Pulsechain and Pulse X, well, then hold on to your seats. I'm not going to pay attention to the inner squabbles and inner workings of these people are trying to, this stuff, that stuff, because it takes away from the goal at hand. It really does take away. And I'm annoyed by the fact that I let some of my energy to think about possibly going to Vegas. And a lot of stuff that's going on in Vegas, I understand it's not, but I'm talking about my family. Like, take my family out. Say, let's go. I know some of the things in Vegas, is for the adult, mature audience. Look, I'm a man of a certain age. I already understand. But I'm not going over there to just, have whatever. It's just to have a family. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, whatever. And then to have this present itself, 350K is still needed to do. I mean, come on, man. Been planning this thing how long? I don't know. I'm not an event planner. I'm not part of the whole thing. I'm just an outsider looking in, as well as a person who's in the community, creates content. It's a bad look. And it's annoying. I get when people, bear market, folks do strange things, right? They want to just find a way. People are annoyed. You could tell. That's why all these coins keep popping up. People who just come into crypto a year, right? A year and a half, who just coming in out of nowhere, build up a quick following, and all of a sudden introducing their coins to pitch. It just raises questions. It's natural for people to start thinking, yo, you just came in, you came around because you had your own agenda? You wanted to pitch your own coin to a community that helped prop you or give you the exposure that you needed, that helped build your presence? So now you just want to just like sell something, right? I get it. Free market, capitalism, you could do whatever you want. But you can't blame people for questioning these things too, man. For raising these questions. Like, you want to talk about adoption. You want to talk about mass adoption. Expose yourself outside the community that built you. You understand? Because when I'm watching these people. I'm watching them. Like everybody else who's in the community. We're watching folks who come and shill their projects, who claim to be members of the community. They're shilling projects to members of the community instead of going to other crypto communities. There are plenty of them. Who are you trying to convince in the Hex community? Why are you trying to convince people in the Hex community, the Pulsechain community, PulseX community, to buy into whatever you got going on indirectly? When you talk about mass adoption, getting people, involved, teaching other people, all this stuff, go outside. Go outside the Hex community. Go do you. You have a base now that you built. And if it weren't, you know what I mean? Go to these other crypto communities and do what you do. The meme coin thing right now in the Hex versus utility token is just crazy. It's crazy. But these meme coins, some of them, they're not even going to Doge. They're not going to, Shiba Inu, Army, whatever. They just I constantly see streams of, people. It's about Pulse. It's about the Hex community. Like, yo, this is the stuff, the inner workings and certain immediate short-term volatility, social volatility that I can't get with. I can't get with it because it's off-putting. It's disgusting, actually. Certain people I don't even watch anymore because they came, they saw, and they're conquering. You know what I'm saying? You may like their personality, sure. There's a few of them I like and stuff like that, but yo, liking you is not going to help me earn 10, 15, 20,000 X, bruh. You know what I mean? Liking somebody is not going to help my family eat. I respect the matter, I respect the code. The social, interpersonal interactions raises questions sometimes, man. I'm not saying people can't get along with one another. I'm not saying they can't be, none of these things would work without a community. None of these blockchains, none of these tokens would mean anything if there was no community rallying behind these things. It would be, right? It'd be futile. It'd be futile. So I respect community, but at the same time, always know that there's, everybody doesn't have everyone doesn't see things the way you see it, and nor will they have your best interest. That you think they have your best interest. That's why you gotta it's like you gotta tread water, because life is messy like that. It's straight up messy like that, and it's unfortunate. It's really unfortunate. Wanted to do something real special and then to see, but then I should have knew better. That's why I'm going back to, it's like, that's what I get for. But it's all right, because there's other opportunities to do other things and embrace quality time with loved ones and create real memories of moments and, special engagements, and right. But this right here, like the way things are, I'm just waiting once again for the technology, the whatever, as far as Pulsechain to be done, go through whatever stress test it needs to go through, whatever test version it needs to go through, whatever, to then be launched, and we can move on. Because right now it's just, people are just, it's crazy. The Wild Wild West is an understatement. Right now it's pitiful. The market is just pitiful. Not even the market, it's just the way people are acting is just pitiful. And I know what these things are. Like, I understand what they are. I understand the value proposition that Hex offers, Pulsechain, PulseX. And then, the derivatives, other things that, are helping the community expand too. And pump, right? Pump the ecosystem altogether. I get it. But many other people who coming in, they don't get it. And then they see, imagine outsiders looking in and see what I've seen. And I've only been in the community a year and a half. Imagine outsiders who are coming in, fresh eyes, and they coming and seeing half the crazy stuff that I've seen early in the game. Like, this wasn't even, I used to see streams that don't even exist anymore. There was good informational streams, educational streams, entertaining streams that don't even exist anymore. And for what? Egos, just weirdness. Right? People who just exile, I don't know. It's just weird. But none of that is bringing value to our intangible wallets. So we can't really remain glued to these types of things, man. That's just noise. This just a disturbance. It's smoke and mirrors. Because none of that crap matters. None of it matters. Stick true to your core and who you are and your beliefs and your intuition. And that will always take you far. It will always take you far, because if we were able to trust one another, we wouldn't have crypto. If we were able to trust one another, we wouldn't have Hex. Like, seriously.